Earlier in the broadcast, we reported on some of the stories still developing from World Youth Day in Krakow, Poland. Well, Maria-Pia Negro Chin attended the celebration with a very unique perspective. She's a vibrant young Catholic who was also there working as a journalist on assignment for the Brooklyn Diocese tablet newspaper, and she joins me now. Maria-Pia, welcome to our show. Good to be back.
Oh, absolutely.
So listen, before you left, I know Bishop DiMarzio was talking to the pilgrims, and he said that this is a pilgrimage, it's not a vacation. How did it seem to you? You were there for about a week. Vacation or pilgrimage?
Oh, it was definitely a pilgrimage. You could see we had very early mornings. There was a lot of walking involved, miles and miles every day on heat or sometimes raining. And you could see that through the exhaustion, you could see changes happening in the kids. So it wasn't just the being away from home, but it was there were some hardships that were involved with the pilgrimage, but that made the experience much more worthwhile for them.
Yeah, we tend to think of today's teenagers as not being very religious, but you saw them at Mass every day. I mean, what was that like for them? Did their faith come through?
Oh, absolutely. You could really feel what a young, vibrant Catholic church is like, and you could have a lot of hope for what the church will be like later on, because these young people are going to be the ones in charge later.
You talked about a transformation that you saw gradually happening. Can you give me an example of something that happened to some of the kids or one of the kids?
Sure, absolutely. And some of them could be very minor, like some of the people I talked to at the beginning, they could be a little skeptical, or they were there, but they were also waiting to see what's going to happen. And then by the end of the week, especially at the time of the vigil, you could really feel that they were getting far up with the Holy Spirit. And they were also more willing to share their experiences, and they kind of came out of their comfort zone a little bit too.
For you, what was the most memorable event, or what's the thing that you'll never forget about this trip?
Oh, well, there are so many, but a couple of them was the vigil, of course, just when Pope Francis asked for a moment of silence, 2 million people quiet down and pray as one. So that was just a very powerful moment. But also something that was a highlight for me was when the first time the young adults saw the Pope. They were waiting after rain, and you could see their joy in their faces when they were hearing what the Pope was saying. When the translation was coming along, you could see just kind of their faces being washed over with understanding and feeling like the Pope was talking to them, and how that affected their lives.
What was it like to be out in the middle of a field there with 2 million young people? Would you manage to get any sleep that night?
2 hours or so. That was completely fine. It was something that you could see after the Pope left. There was a concert. There was time for prayer. Some of the young people actually were seeking out places to pray together. So that was something that was really remarkable. I was actually typing away and working while that was happening, but that was something that thankfully there was no rain, and all in all, I think it was part of the experience.
Yeah.
Just
Bishop DiMarzio was there along with you, and Father Gerard Sauer, who is the pilgrimage director, and many other priests of the diocese. What was that like to have them along and celebrating Mass out in the field? That was something different, huh?
Yes, and it was really a blessing. We had at least 1 or 2 priests in every bus, and they will often pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet or just explain a little bit of what was going on. Or sometimes priests would like sing along. There was a bus that I got to at the end that people were like just clapping and singing, and the priests were clapping and singing along. And it was just very reassuring to know that the priests, many of them pastors, were there with the young people, being with them along the way.
And Bishop DiMarzio, I know, hosted a dinner on the last night at the salt mines. That was a very special place. It's actually go down into a mine, don't you?
Yes, you go down several meters. You get to see these salt mines have different chapels that were actually carved out, not so much by sculptures, but by the miners themselves. They were sculptures made out of salt, and the dining hall that we were in had a lot of the decorations made out of salt.
Good. Little sightseeing along with being on pilgrimage. Thanks so much. You did a great job for us.
Thank you.